Welcome to episode... I actually don't know, because I usually don't record 2 episodes in 1 week. 43 of Take Over Tea. Yeah, when you said you wanted to do this on Saturday, I was initially thinking you were saying, like, next Saturday, because I'd asked you during the week. But it's fine, I just won't record next week, and then it'll be fine then. That actually works out... Does it work out? No, next week's not Christmas, the week after the Christmas. Maybe I will record an episode then and then just not do the Christmas week. That might work.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I guess this... When's this going to be up? So I think this actually will be the Christmas episode, though. I think this will be up the Thursday just before Christmas.
What a nice Christmas present for your viewers.
Merry Christmas from the 12th of December. How you been, man?
I'm good, man. How are you doing?
Not too bad, not too bad. I've noticed you've been streaming a lot recently.
A lot. I wouldn't say lots of word, but I'm trying to get back into it whenever I can.
Yeah. More than I've been doing, at least. I stream, like... At this stage, I'm doing 1 a week on the main channel, and whatever I feel like doing on the gaming channel.
Yeah.
So I think this weekend I'm planning, unless I change my mind, I'm thinking I'm going to do a stream later today. Probably play a bit of Hades, because that game's a lot of fun. And...
Oh, yeah. You said later today, I was like, wait, but never mind. I forgot it's fucking morning.
No, it's 11:40 a.m. here. Hey, I could stream at 1 in the morning. That also works. And then I think maybe, if I feel like it, maybe tomorrow I'll play some Bastion, but I don't know. We'll see how I feel about it, because I've never actually played that game before.
I think I played it a very little bit back at the gaming club at college.
Actually, wait, no, I think...
Speaking of college, are you done now?
Yes, I am, yes.
Yeah. Thank fucking God, dude. Congratulations.
I know, it's actually lovely to be done. It's a great experience, but Jesus Christ, 4 years is a long, long time.
Nah, I don't except for, I'll say this every time, the exception in meeting my wife at college, most of college was a waste of fucking time to me.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm at the point now where I'm like, did I just waste the last 4 years of my life? Is that what happened? Because what I realized... Sorry?
I said in my case, it's, did I waste 4 years of my life and go in debt about 30 grand?
I think my debt's a bit more than that, but the way our like loan system works for a higher education is actually really, really nice. So we don't actually have to pay a cent back until I think we make above like 40,000 or something, and every year it doesn't actually go up with inflation. It doesn't have compound interest put on it. It's just going up with inflation. So it'll just keep up with that rate, which is perfectly fine. So if you don't pay it back ever, then you should pay it back. But you don't ever have to. If you go get like a job at Starbucks and never move up in the world, the debt's not going to be there trying to like bother you about it.
The way ours works is, 1, you do get interest. 2, I think depending on what program you're doing to pay it back, if you like don't miss payments over a certain amount of time, I forget how many years this, like 10 or 20 years or some shit.
Yeah.
They'll just go, okay, the rest of that's forgiven.
Oh, okay.
But the debt that's forgiven counts as income, so you get taxed on it.
Wow, that's a harsh way to take it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, is it just like an entire block that's counted as forgiven at like, or is it just over a period of time?
I'm pretty sure after a certain period of time, just whatever's left just gets marked off.
Jesus.
Yeah. I think I could be wrong. I'm not a fucking expert on that, but I'm trying to remember what I had to read to accept the loan in the first place initially, and I think that's how it worked, but I could be wrong.
Because if you were, I don't know, you say did an aeronautical degree or a medical degree, you could still potentially have like 40 or 50,000 on that.
Oh yeah.
That's insane.
Actually, if it was one of those, shit, that'd be in the 6 digits. Easy.
Yeah.
Because like mine's like I went to a cheaper college because it was in state, and mine was still like $30,000, and that was with financial aid.
Well, yeah, let's say you go to like Harvard or something without a scholarship. Like that would be a massive, massive debt.
No, thank you. So I gave you a big ass list. Which one you want to go down first?
Let's see. What do we have on here? I guess we can scare people away a bit later with the VTubers. I usually like to save that until people they've already given up my the watch time anyway. Usually, if people watch like 5 or 10 minutes in, then give up. So you know what? We'll start with something that everyone likes. We'll start with video games. You've played a bit of Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh god, I love that game so much.
I haven't played it yet. It looks really, really good. Give me a reason why I should play it.
Combat wise, think Assassin's Creed, but more fluent. I think I would call it a better version of Assassin's Creed's combat. Still has the same stealth elements that Assassin's Creed kind of does, but has what I would consider a better story. Oh god, the story is so much better. And if you're just kind of into that maybe that kind of history and that aesthetic, you love it. Like you can really live like that samurai fantasy.
Well, I did catch. So I watched like the first 5 minutes of your stream, and I came back like I think an hour or so later, and you're talking about how you're not really a samurai. You actually just become a ninja later in the game with all your upgrades.
That's part. Yeah, it's kind of part of the like main struggle the main character has, without going into like uber major plot spoilers. Is it's kind of him tackling with the fact that this enemy they're fighting knows exactly what they're going to do, because samurai live by a code and they always react the same way to everything. So you have to basically break the code in order to fight this enemy. That's basically what like his main inner struggle is.
Well, yeah, the only part I saw is that you were looking at the upgrade tree, and you're like, none of these abilities are samurai abilities.
Nope.
Which I don't think is a bad thing. I like ninjas, I like samurais. Merge them together, you get something cool.
It's not really like a major like thing that like has issues with other characters until later. Like you'll start to see like some certain characters are like, oh, I know you had to do what you had to do, but you should stay away from doing this.
Yeah.
But then you just have to do progressively more fucked up stuff every time, and they're like, you're turning into a monster. Please stop this now.
How much? It's on. How much is it going to be in Australia? Probably too much money. Probably way too much money. Because our dollar is garbage. Let's go to Oz Game Shop. Let's see how much they're going to charge me for it. How much did you end up paying for it?
It's retail price still, so $60.
Oz Game Shop is basically, I don't know how they managed to get the prices so low. Basically, I don't know. Maybe they're like G2A and have stolen keys or something. But you can always get some pretty nice deals on there. $68.99 Australian. That's actually pretty good.
I don't know what the conversion rate is between Freedom Bucks and Kangaroo Bucks.
I think that would work out to be like $50, $45.
Oh, nice. Okay, there's a little discount.
Yeah. Well, normally when games come out here, they're $100, which is higher than they are retail in America.
Excuse me.
Yeah, that would work out to be like $80 or so, which is nonsense.
Why the fuck are they so much money?
I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with shipping. I don't know. But the thing is, it's not just shipping. Digital copies are the exact same price. So you'll buy like a digital code, it'll still be $100. But there's no reason for it.
Actually, speaking of that game, I was playing the multiplayer last night, and I was doing a mission with someone that was like doing really well. So I was like, I'm gonna invite him and play with him. And lo and behold, it's someone else also from Australia. And he has, I don't know where he's from in Australia, but his accent's like way thicker than yours. Like, holy God, it's thick. I could understand him, but it was like, whoa, holy shit, mate.
Yes. Yeah, my accent's kind of cleaned up since I moved away from the rural areas, but it does definitely slip back when I go there for a while. Because I grew up in rural Queensland, and you don't understand a word anyone's saying if you're not from there.
I don't know exactly, like, you never gave me like what country Australian accent sounded like, but like when I heard him talk, I was like, okay, I think this is what he's talking about.
Like, Crocodile Dundee isn't a joke. Like, that, people actually speak like that.
Mm-hmm.
Not about knives and stuff, but no, like, that accent's like an actual accent. Yeah, it... I think the funniest thing about Australian shows is that, so, I don't know if you've ever seen Outback Truckers. It's a random show. Okay. Outback Truckers, basically, it's what it sounds like. It's truckers through the Outback. And every single one of them has subtitles on it because the show gets, like, sold in America. I love it, because like, it's perfectly fine for me. I can understand everything they're saying, but I guess it'd be like listening to someone with a super thick, like, Scottish accent. I'm like, I have no idea what you're saying. But if you were from there, and even if you spoke like a perfectly fine accent to anyone else, you'd still probably understand it.
Right, yeah.
I don't know. But
I don't have that hard of an issue understanding people that have really thick accents when I had to work at the Greenbrier a long time ago. Because a lot of the waiters there have like thick Jamaican accents or thick Asian accents. So I got used to this understanding thick accents.
Yeah, it's not too difficult once you're around it. But I could make my videos like that if I wanted to. I think it'd be amusing. I have some ideas. I think that when I go play Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, I'm going to ham up the accent as much as possible. Just
let Meeseeks have his fantasy. And
right, mate. I think I'll have to do that. I think I will have to do that. Also, Discord seems to be getting worse. I noticed in DT's episode it was cutting out a bit. It's cutting out for you as well. I don't know if that's just my side or what's going on.
I don't think I've heard you cut out at all.
Huh, okay. I don't know what's going on then there.
I don't fucking know, man.
Discord shit. Maybe I'll use my Linode sponsorship and set up a Jitsi server.
Or there's actually a competitor service to Discord I like just found out about not that long ago called gilded.gg.
That does ring a bell.
And I think I just like pissed around with it one day, and so they're trying to move into the space that Discord is technically moving out of,
right?
Because Discord's trying to not be just we're for gamers, and they're trying to be like general now. Whereas Guild is like, no, we're going full ham on the we're for gamers. Like they have the tools where you can even set up like micro forums on the server. You can set up calendar events, videos, everything.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah, I heard about it's basically like really like much more featureful. But the only exception they have is their weakness is they don't have like bot integration.
That's a problem.
But they have webhooks, so you can kind of do bot stuff.
Okay, that makes sense. I will care about this when someone builds a matrix bridge for it.
I mean, technically speaking, I don't know how that API works, but you could technically have like a bot that's listening to your matrix server. I don't know if that's a thing you can do or not, and then just have them bridge the messages over with the webhooks. Technically, you can do that.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it works with the Discord integration. But I don't know. I think Discord's sort of been slacking a lot in the gaming side. Like, they haven't really done anything that... Like, yeah, you have the overlay. That's pretty much the only thing gamery about it at this point. It's basically Slack with a different skin. Oh,
yeah. I mean, they've even said... They've completely rebranded themselves. It's not like, oh, we're just for gamers now. They're trying to be like this like generic communication community platform thing now. And I'm like, okay, I kind of get why you're doing that. But I think in the process of you doing that, trying to get more people, you're going to push away and piss off the ones that have been there for years. And they'll just go fuck off and go to other platforms.
Well, yeah, it's not like Discord's the only platform out there.
Oh, no.
But I remember when my main group was on, like, it was a Skype group. That was a... God, I don't miss that. Skype is so bad.
Yeah, I hate Skype. There was like the only reason I still had Skype on my old computer was to talk to like 2 old friends of mine from back home.
Mm-hmm. I had to open up Skype to talk to someone at some point. I was like, wow, this still looks like it does 10 years ago.
It probably still runs like shit too.
Probably. Well, one of the like Skype's a weird one, especially for businesses, because the Skype for business and like regular Skype accounts are 2 different accounts. Why did my light just get brighter? Oh god! Why did it jump up to 52? What?
What the fuck?
Oh, that's I don't like that.
Are you having like a short that's making the fucking thing wig out?
I don't know. Maybe. There we go. On that note, I probably should get myself a UPS. I've just got yeah. not the shipping company, no. The power supply. Yeah, because I've just got this running off of wall power, and it has been a problem from time to time because this house has some of the flakiest power I've ever seen. Like once a month, I would say we lose power here.
How old is it?
Not that old. It's not just the house; it's the suburb.
Oh.
I don't know why it happens so often. It just changed again. Fuck. Okay.
Speaking of lighting, I actually ordered some more lighting equipment.
What are you working with right
now? These 2 like I think you have these things. These like newer LED panel things. Yeah, they're like $30 for 2 of them or something.
Oh yeah, they're lovely.
What's that dude that works with Harris Sam Goodall? He just released a video today talking about how to use reflectors with lights.
Okay.
I've never actually saw a reflector used before. He was showing examples about how to use them. The fuck actually looks really convenient to use. And so I like immediately went and bought like a reflector because they're not even that expensive. They're like $20.
Do you have a link to that?
The reflector or Sam's video?
Yeah, whatever. Just so I can show something on the screen.
Let me
whatever's closest at hand.
Amazon, go do your thing.
Oh, speaking of Amazon, the bookseller I normally go through, I've noticed that for some reason, so they've got an Amazon shop. Their prices on the Amazon shop are cheaper than their prices on their own website, and I don't know why they've done that. It really confuses me.
That does confuse me.
You'd think you'd make them cheaper on your own site, or maybe make them equivalent because Amazon's going to take a cut anyway. So it's real strange.
Unless they're already overcharging the shit out of it anyway, and they don't care if they just lose like a little bit off the top.
Maybe, but their prices are pretty good generally. I just broke the entire thing. I didn't have the Discord window open, so it placed it where the main Discord window is.
No.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I have seen these be used before. I don't know what I'd be doing with them though. So maybe I'll go watch that video.
Yeah, the main thing it does, which is I think part of my problem because you know all the shadows and shit back here, is it'll basically just kind of disperse all the light that's hitting back this way. So instead of you see like all these dark spots behind me, it'll kind of like gently like diffuse all of it back, and it'll be like very evenly lit, like all of it back here, and it looks really nice.
Okay. I have fairly limited space though, so I don't know how well I'd be able to make use of them. But
that's true.
I will have a look.
They do just come. If you notice, like they have like clamp on and shit.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you could just like clamp it on the top of your monitor or something.
That's an option. Also, a curtain rod that you just hang it down from. Get a bit of fishing wire. Wait, do you know how?
Make it work.
Do you know how like absolutely messed up my my blackout curtain solution is here? I don't think I
have no idea what your blackout curtain solution is.
Oh, okay. So I have this quote-unquote curtain. It's not a curtain. You might notice up there's some clamps.
I see that.
That's because what it is, it's actually a bed sheet.
Oh.
I've clamped a bed sheet to my curtain rod, and then I can just drop it down whenever I'm doing videos, and that just basically knocks out any light that would have come in through the edges of the window.
Whenever I actually have a different space that doesn't involve having one of our cats in here, I want to get some kind of blackout lights or blackout curtain if I need them. It might be in the basement where I won't need them anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I only need them because I've got blinds, but light comes in through the edges of them, and in the late afternoon, the sun is coming straight through my window.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not too much of a problem, but I just don't want to deal with it. I dealt with it in the videos for a while. You might have noticed in some of the videos that recorded later in the day, there was light coming in through this section over here.
I never even paid attention.
Oh well,
I don't pay attention.
This is you probably noticed this. Every time you make an upgrade to a video, no one else notices besides you.
Maybe it depends on how significant the difference is.
Yeah. Well, obviously, if you change your set.
Yeah. I mean, it's I'm sure that the audio I'm using now and the audio I had before is a big fucking difference.
Yeah. But say you were using a camera and then you went and bought another $300 lens or something. No one will notice the difference.
Yeah. No.
Except
other than maybe the angle's a little wider or something. Woo,
Yeah, the only one who'd notice something is the camera junkies, and even them probably not.
Yeah.
The biggest difference I've done is obviously having these backlights here and my extra light, so I can have a fill light, a point light, and a fill light, hair light, and a key light.
Yeah.
But besides that, I've made some other minor changes here and there, and no one's pointed them out until I pointed them out.
Oh, yeah, those are nice lights you got there.
Which, it slightly bothers me, but also I just want to improve stuff for myself.
Oh, yeah.
I could just keep doing everything with my webcam looking like absolute garbage, like most people with a C920 do. Someone who talks about roads a lot. But I want to make it look better, and that's why I bought the new camera anyway, because I wanna have it look better. I don't need the new camera. I'd be fine with just the C920, but I just want to see stuff improve, basically.
Speaking of men who rant about roads, when you and some of the people in the chat were that randomly brought him up yesterday, I was sitting there thinking, I was like, how proud would he be of me of the fact that I'm literally running my entire YouTube channel off FFmpeg almost, except for when I'm recording. I use OBS to record, but literally all the fucking editing is FFmpeg and Python scripts.
Yeah, I don't know why you do that.
Because I'm lazy and I would do the same editing anyway.
Well, yeah, I think I mentioned this in the stream. One of the things I do want to do is just one is have a automatic import script, so I don't have to bother importing the videos. So right now I just drag them in and put them in the project. I should be able to start a project. I have a template Kdenlive project file, and then just populate it with everything that should be there. Which that's not difficult. I just haven't done it. Basically, I'll just go over every file in the folder and then just put in the metadata it needs to actually locate the file. The other thing is automatically adding in my outro video, because I manually drag that in every time as well. All of that stuff's pretty easy. It's just there's no documentation on how the Kdenlive save file actually works, so it's basically just hack it together.
I mean, that's what a lot of my FFmpeg scripts are, is because there's not a lot of centralized resources about doing stuff with FFmpeg. It's literally I think most of my scripts are usually the result of finding random Stack Overflow posts about, hey, how can I combine two videos with FFmpeg? And I'm like, hey, yoink, fine now.
Mm-hmm. FFmpeg does seem like a cool tool, but I make too many mistakes, and I want my videos to be edited in a certain way that doing it through FFmpeg, I feel like would just be too much of a hassle for me. If you don't do much editing and you just cut out like, the parts where you're not speaking, it's perfectly fine.
See, whenever I make a mistake, like I'm usually pretty aware of what my brain's farting or I'm like saying misspeaking. I'll turn it into a joke. Like I'll make fun of myself and use it because I actually usually like when people make videos and they do something stupid. They're like, "Wait, what the fuck did I just say?" Like they make fun of themselves. The fact they just did. I like that. That's why I usually leave those in. And then, like you said, for the silence parts, I just Python script removes all silence anyway.
Yeah. If I left those in, I think the videos would be almost twice as long. I could leave a couple in here and there, but if I left them all in, the videos would be unwatchable.
Mm-hmm. I did have 2 ideas to potentially do some more sophisticated editing with the stuff I have.
Mm-hmm.
One was I did think about, for the Python script that's removing the silence, adding the ability for me to basically pass in like a white list of time frames. So basically saying like, oh, if you're looking for silence but you're within this time frame, just ignore it. Just for like, I want to leave it in for like comedic effect or something. So that way, like it looks normal. Then like, sometimes people will like leave sections of silence there on purpose for whatever reason. That would be the use case for it.
Like you're saying, you're trying to make some sort of like sarcastic point or something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like Apple makes a great operating system, and then just go on from there. Yeah.
And the other one is I briefly told you about this before, which was I considered adding like some kind of like really low volume like background music tutorial videos, so it's not literally just me blathering on for like 12 minutes. And I already found a solution. I already found an example about how to do it with FFmpeg. It's super easy.
Yeah.
So what I thought about doing was there's be like 2 phases of this. The first one is a simple implementation where I basically just use like there's a standard program called Shuff to just shuffle like the entries from like LS or something. I thought about using that to basically like have a directory that I have for background music, whether there's actual files in there or they're just symlinked from other things, and just say I pass in this directory, pick a random audio file from this directory, loop it the whole time. So basically like random, I don't even know what it is until it's already recorded. Surprise, nobody knows. And the other idea I had, so it wasn't literally the same track looping over and over again for like 20 minutes, would be something a little more sophisticated, which is I take the same, I don't like just take the first track. I take the track, I have the entire length of the video, the main video, not the intro and outro stuff. I take the first audio track, then I use like media info. How long is this track? Okay, it's 3 minutes. How long is this video? 12 minutes. Okay, so there's 9 minutes left. Take the next track. How long is this one? 4 minutes. Okay, 4 minutes, and until the whole video is consumed. And then I can just concatenate all those tracks together, and it's basically one continuous BGM of different tracks.
Yeah. I've thought about doing music in the back of my videos as well. I don't know whether it would fit or not. That's the only worry I have. I know it's fine for a stream, but I don't know how well it would work in like a 10, 12-minute video.
It might. I think if you're actually showing something off, probably not. Like I'm not putting them into videos, but they seem to help when you're just kind of like talking, like it's just like a talking head video where you're just kind of talking about something. I think it helps some of those.
Yeah, okay. I might try that. I'm not sure what music I'll use. Right now for my streams, I'm using Stream Beats.
Yeah.
Which is, I like Stream Beats. Stream Beats is great. Harris Heller did a great job with that. Like, there's a lot of stuff in there I'm not a fan of. Like, I'm not a big fan of lo-fi stuff. I'll listen to it, like, when I'm just doing stuff by myself, but I don't think it makes great stream music.
No, I downloaded all of the synthwave albums.
I've got all of it downloaded. I think mostly what I'm using is the hip hop stuff.
The hip.
Yeah. There's other things I could use. Like, Monster Cat's got a pretty good, obviously being Monster Cat, you can go get a Monster Cat license and use all of that. That's obviously going to be great music as well. I might consider that, to be honest, because I do like a lot of Monster Cat.
Yeah, but I don't know how much their license is. The only other royalty-free service that I actually use that I pay for is Epidemic.
Mm-hmm. That one doesn't ring a bell.
It's what Fluke used.
I just realized
I browsed their library and actually they actually have some pretty nice synth and retro wave tracks on there.
Epidemic music.
It's Epidemic Sound.
Well, it came up on Google. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, maybe I'll have a look at this as well. See what they have. Yeah.
Let's see. So, what about me almost running out of money and having to find a job again?
Oh yeah, that's why you stopped making videos for a while.
Yep.
Yeah, how'd that go?
Well, see, this part I thought might actually be helpful for people because there's always people trying to get their foot in the door in that particular industry.
Yeah.
So all of you who might be watching, who are going to be looking for a job in doing software development or some shit like that, I will explain to you the steps I took to acquire another job. Okay, class, ready? Step 1. I already had a resume template.
Wait a second.
Yep.
I've got a notebook.
He's taking notes. Oh boy. I already had a resume template. I don't remember where I got it from. Because for fuck's sake, unless you're a designer, don't use your own resume thing. Just get a template somewhere. The order that things on the resume are is what's probably one of the most important parts. So usually, you have like your name, maybe like some info like your email or something. For God's sake, don't put where you live or your phone number or something, just because it's going to go places like Indeed. Do you want randos calling you on your phone? I don't think you do. Next thing down below, if you want to put it, you don't have to, is like a one sentence like description of like what you're trying to do. Like mine was like, I'm a software engineer with 3 years of experience looking to grow my knowledge and teach others my skills. Summary. The next point after this, and this is the most important part, skills. Because if you don't already know this, when people are looking at your resume to decide whether they want to call you or not, a lot of times they're just looking for keywords. Because the people usually looking at resumes, they don't know what the hell this shit is. They were just told candidates that have JavaScript, HTML, React, and something on the resume.
Yeah, generally it's going to be HR, not the person who you're actually working for, who's actually looking at it.
So generally what I like, okay, if you're just trying to find any job, usually you want to carry the resume to like whatever job you're looking, or like whatever job you're applying for. But in my case, there was like a specific kind of job I was looking for. So I had my resume carried to that. And I had like the important thing first. Like I was trying to find, if I could, a Go job, a Golang job, which I kind of did. We'll get into that afterwards. After that, there is if you have job experience, relevant job experience, not what you worked at fucking. I don't really know about that.
No, you cut out there for a bit.
That's where you put it there. I said like if you have job experience, like job experience that matters for what you're applying for, not something you did before. And when you're describing it, you usually describe it in like like affirmative things that you did. Don't just be like, oh, I worked on this thing. We used this thing. Okay. You should be like, oh, I leveraged MySQL and PHP to maintain and further develop our existing web applications. So you're saying, I took this thing and accomplished this goal. HR likes saying that stuff. Whatever. And then after that, if you have projects, put them there. Preferably linked to source code and a live demo. Because, especially the live demo part, because it's one thing just be like, oh, I made this thing and this stuff. But if I can't see it, I don't believe you. And then education at the bottom. Which is funny because, like, if you go to a lot of career college, they'll tell you to put that front and center. Don't put it front and center. Don't. It's like, especially nowadays, it's probably one of the least relevant things on your resume, which is funny considering you probably spent 4 years of your life of $40,000-$50,000 trying to get it.
Yeah, a lot of really the only companies that desperately care about you having a degree are government organizations or doing military contracts, anything like that. But if you're doing any sort of like web development or just general development, your degree's not really as important as you having demonstrable projects that you can actually say, these are things that I've done. This is what I actually know.
Yep. And then, if your resume is all ready to go, by the way, I never bother with cover letters. I think cover letters are a big fucking waste of time. Or if you have a cover letter, just literally take a template one that has like 4 places where you're like, hello, insert name of company here. I am applying for insert name of job here. And that's what I would do if I had a cover letter, but I didn't even bother with that shit. I think that's kind of pointless.
That's an interesting approach, because a lot of people say the cover letter is incredibly important. If you are going to take the template approach, 1, make sure you fill out the template. 2, make sure you fill out the template with the correct company.
Yes, please do that. So here's the next thing I did when it came to actually job searching, and this is another thing is going to be contrary to what you usually hear at colleges. They'll say like, oh, like research the job that you want. Like, find the company you like, research the company, do that. No. Don't waste time with that shit yet. You know why? To me, it always seemed like when you're trying to put in job like applications for jobs like that, it's a numbers game. I think over the course of that couple months that I was job searching, I probably sent out 80 resumes. And I heard back, and I heard back from 10 of them and got phone interviews with 3 of them. Okay, so I don't know what percentage of success that is, but it's not worth you literally saying they're looking up every single. You know what I mean? My kind of train of thought is, I'm not going to give them the time of day to like look into it until they decide they want to give me the time of day. Otherwise, why would I waste my time? That's my train of thought on it.
So it's a 12.5% contact rate and then 3.75% callback rate.
Yeah, pretty much. Now, you could say that's attributed to the fact that I said, fuck the cover letters, but I can dish out resumes faster than it would take me to sit here and customize a damn cover letter every time I was sending out a resume. So I weighed the pros and cons. So what I would do is if they actually reached out and said, hey, we would like to talk to you, then I would go, okay, let me actually see what the hell they actually do and what they're about. Because remember, when you're doing an interview, you're interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you. Even when I had my old job, I actually looked up for other jobs. I actually got job offers. I just turned them down because when I actually did the interview, tried to get more about what they were doing and how they were using it, I realized I don't want to work there, and I turned down the job offers. And then, assuming you actually get through phone interviews and go into real interviews, well, yes, this is where you're supposed to know fucking bullshit like, oh, what's data structures? What's this algorithm? This fucking bullcrap you're not going to use in the actual job.
Yeah, there are books that go over all of that stuff. Just you'll find them pretty easily.
Yes. Just know that it's whatever the hell they're asking you. That's probably the only time you're going to use it.
Yeah. Guide to coding. I forgot what the book's called. There's a really good one. The complete coding interview guide. Yeah, there you go. That one's in Java, but it basically applies to every other language.
That data structured algorithm video that Trent Black, he made a joke that I geeked so hard when he made it because he was talking about like I think it was like how to traverse like binary trees or something.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like knowing how to traverse a binary tree is really important, such as when they ask you about it during the interview. And that's about it. I was like, true.
If you are writing a library on how to traverse that, yeah, unless you're a library developer or you're doing coding interviews, that's the only time it matters.
No, yeah, pretty much.
And if the thing is, there's already thousands of libraries to traverse a binary tree, so no one's going to be doing that.
Nope.
I guess unless your company's like super cutting edge and it doesn't have like a tree library in it or something.
If the boss that you work for is literally so like, I don't know what the word you even describe it is, that he's so anal about using third-party libraries that he wants to write every single piece of code himself, I'd be like, nah, bro, you do you. I'm gonna fuck off over here.
Well, EA has internal libraries they use for the Unreal Engine rather than using the built-in libraries.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they have a use case where they need like extremely like they need to squeeze out every single ounce of performance they can get. Like that I can understand. But I mean, if you're just writing fucking web apps or whatever, the fuck, that shit doesn't matter.
Yeah, not at all.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else important I can say about that. If you go into an interview and you feel like you don't know anything, that's okay. It's totally okay for you not to know stuff. What's important is not that you know the answers, but that you can walk them through how you figure out the answers to problems you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's important, because it's far more likely on the job that they're going to ask you to do something and you go, I have no fucking clue how to do that. I need to figure it out.
Programmatic thinking, that's what's important.
Yep.
You can learn new libraries, you can learn new languages, you can learn new constructs. If you can break down a problem in a way where you can actually, even if you don't know, okay, let's say you're trying to do something like send something basic, like send a JSON send some JSON data in an HTTP packet, something like that, something super basic. Even if you don't know how to do either of those things, if you can understand, like, okay, here's how I break down that problem, here's what, like, how I should look at it, that's what's important.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're applying for a web development job and you don't know how to do that, then you shouldn't be applying for that job, by the way. Please know how to send some data over an HTTP packet if you're trying to apply for a web dev job.
I mean, it depends on what level job it is. If it's a junior job, if the company's not fucking stupid, they should basically expect to have to basically teach you a lot of things. Mm-hmm. That's what I think when I think junior is. Like, you have the basics down. Maybe you know a bit more about some things, but for the first couple of months, we probably may need to hold your hand a little bit.
Well, sure, yeah, absolutely. But there's a certain baseline where if you don't know what a loop is, please don't apply for the job.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. That's what I mean. Like they have like basic programming understanding. Mm-hmm. If they go in the interview and I'm like, okay, do you do this in an if statement? And they're like, what's the if statement? I'm like, thank you for your time. Here's the door.
There's a I forgot what someone sent me a link to it a while back. About this person who got really confused about FizzBuzz and didn't understand the question, and they didn't even understand like how to approach the problem. Let's see if I can find the link to it. Did that break everything? I don't know. Wait, if I probably not. Okay, no, it should be fine. Let's see. Is it gonna be here? No, okay, I can't find it. Anyway, yeah. If you don't know what FizzBuzz is this very famous coding interview question where basically I think it's every number divisible by 3, you print out fizz. Every number divisible by 5, you print out buzz. And then every number divisible by 15, is it? You print out fizz buzz? Is that how it goes?
That's like the logical way to think it. The way they'll usually say it is you count from 1 to 100. If the number is divisible by 3, you print fizz. If it's divisible by 5, you print buzz. If it's divisible by both, you print fizz buzz.
Yeah.
But the meaning of divisible by both means take 3, take 5, multiply them together. That's what the divisor is.
Okay, well, yeah. They also want you to be able to do some very basic multiplication, because if you can't do that, you're also going to be screwed. But yeah, that's a very simple question. You can go find thousands of ways to approach it. There are like GitHub posts where people will post like the most nonsensical ways to approach that problem. I think you can do it in one line in some languages. It's that stupid. Or you could write like this. I've seen some people like write thousands of lines just to do it, just to see how badly they can write it.
Do you want to see some attempts that when I see them, I'm like, you're trying too hard? Go look up FizzBuzz solutions in Ruby.
Oh no.
Because Ruby's one of those languages that has like a bunch of like really weird, like clever syntax, but probably only the person that wrote it knows what the fuck that code even does.
Ruby FizzBuzz one-liner. Here we go. Oh god. What am I looking at? Okay. I'll zoom in on this. How do we just... Is that show? Yeah, cool, it's on the screen. I'm gonna just send it to you. I don't know what I'm looking at.
I might not.
Here you go.
I used Ruby back in college once.
This is from Rosetta Code, apparently.
The number 1 up to 100 basically goes into a loop.
That part
code
I got,
block,
yeah.
Variable in, puts, FizzBuzz. I actually don't know what that part there is. What's in the square brackets? I don't know what that syntax is. my Ruby stops at that part.
Yeah, like when they ask you a question like FizzBuzz, they're not looking for a solution like this. What they're looking for is something. Actually, if you write a solution like this, they'll probably get rid of you as well, just because you clearly can't write code that anyone else is going to be able to read.
Yeah, that's very important, actually.
But they want something where you can actually explain to them, like even if you get to the question like that wrong, if you can explain to them how this is supposed to work, that's more important. Because maybe you got like nervous during the interview and made some sort of dumb mistake.
Yeah.
But if you can explain to them like this is why this should work, then that's important. In
fact, it is more important than you actually getting the answer.
Yeah. Yeah. If you can get the answer, then they're not dumb. They know that every single coding interview question is on the internet. Yep. So, unless they're a company who tries to get you to build their app for them, which is, which also is that's a company you shouldn't work for. That's when you should do some research on the company. But yeah, they know that every single interview question's on the internet already, or some variation of it. They might change a little bit, but the structure's pretty much there. There's only so many ways you can traverse a binary tree.
Yep.
They want you to understand how you're doing this. Mm-hmm. But they're still not very good coding interview questions. The best ones would be ones that are actually related to the job.
Yeah. In fact, if you all want something extra to watch, I was on here a long time ago. I went on like a 45-minute rant about how fucking shit code interviews are. Go watch it.
Oh yeah, you did, didn't you?
I did. I was even like, I even like clapped my hands so you could see the fucking video editor to make sure that clipped that part.
I don't remember if I made a clip of that one or not. I think I might have. Or maybe I did, just not the entire rant. I'm not sure.
I gave you a hot take and you threw it away. What the fuck?
Well, people can go back to it now. Now that I have far more people watching the channel after DT's episode.
You can clip it and then go post it in fucking subreddit that's always like stupid r/computer science or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that they're like, if you don't want to work for Fang, you're not a real.
Oh yeah.
Jesus Christ.
God, I don't know why you'd ever want to work at a Fang company.
No, I never ever wanted to work for even even working for the medium sized company I work for now. Like I could already tell has like issues that I'm going to have with later, like being stuck in meetings so long sometimes you don't actually fucking get shit done.
Yeah,
I can only imagine how bad it is a bigger company.
Yeah, you're talking to Will about that in the. Actually, were you there when Will was talking about that in the stream yesterday?
I heard him mention like stand-ups.
Yeah, his stand-ups that go between 15 and an hour. It's like, what?
Yeah, like I think I told him that it's not me because I'm like newer and at the bottom of the totem pole more or less, but like a couple of the senior devs, there are literally some days where they don't code. They're literally in meetings all day. And that happens so frequently that I was talking to one of the other devs that's like lower level, and I was like, when the fuck do when do they get time to do stuff done? And they're like, he jokes and he's like, the weekends. I was like, if that's what they would expect of me at some point, well, fuck you. I got shit to do on the weekends only.
That would be a worry. That's the only worry I would have about a programming job. When you get to that like crunch time, like it's not as big of an issue with some companies, but like depending on what part of the industry you're in, like crunch time could be a serious problem.
I wouldn't say so much as usually crunch time is the problem, at least not in my experience. It depends a lot more on your seniority, because it's kind of one of those things that, okay, it makes sense that if you're granted higher seniority, there comes with it the trade-off of extra responsibility. One of those being that if everything catches on fire during the weekend, your ass is the one that has to respond to it probably. That's why I kind of have like, I kind of want to hire like a more senior position just for more money, but at the same time, I like weekends.
Weekends are nice. Yeah.
I like for my time to stop at fucking 5 p.m., not drag on into.
Yeah, I get that.
What else did I send you? I know I sent you.
I sent a lot of stuff. One thing you did send that I have no idea what the fuck it. The sleep schedule thing you sent. Polyphasic.
Oh yeah.
What does that mean? I'm gonna search for it. Before we do that, let's just find the definition of polyphasic.
Okay.
Let's see. Biphasic sleep or diphasic sleep, bimodal or bifurcated sleep is the practice of sleeping during 2 periods over the course of 24 hours, while am I saying that right? I don't know, it probably doesn't matter. Polyphasic? Yeah, there we go. Sleep refers to sleeping multiple times, usually more than 2. Each of these is in contrast to monophasic sleep, which is 1 sleep period within 24 hours. So sleep, basically taking naps, I'm guessing? Like, breaking up your sleep? Okay.
So to go into more detail, the reason why I got interested in this was the guy that wrote the 4-Hour Work Week, Tim Ferriss, I think is his name. He has another book called The 4-Hour Body.
That is a book I really need to read at some point.
Yeah. That has a lot of very interesting things about things like diet, exercise, sleep patterns, which is the thing I was reading about. And he basically talks about how if you want to enter into a period of, like, I guess you want to call hyper productivity, that these polyphasic sleep schedules tend to be very attractive because it allows you to operate on much less sleep without basically feeling tired, or at least as tired. And there's all kinds of different variations of like how often you take naps and how long they last. The particular one that I was trying, I think the name was called the Everyman, because it's basically like the polyphasic schedule that cuts back the most amount of sleep, but has the naps placed in times that is still sensible for somebody who works a 9 to 5 to still work.
Right.
So the way that sleep schedule worked when I was doing it was I went to sleep at 9 p.m. and I woke up at midnight.
Right.
And I stayed awake, I basically took naps at 3 20-minute naps. Once at 4 a.m., once at 8 a.m., and then once at 3 p.m. And the way it works is initially you'll just kind of start get you'll just gradually get more tired as you're trying to do this because you're building up sleep depth. Like you're just getting more and more tired.
Mm-hmm.
But at a certain point, there's a mechanism in your body that'll kick in, which is if your body feels like it's in sleep deprivation, when you fall asleep and you're sleep deprived, you instantly fall into rapid eye movement sleep.
Mm-hmm.
When you do most of your actual resting. Normally, when you have a monophasic sleep schedule, you have to stay asleep for like 3 or 4 hours before you go into REM sleep.
Mm-hmm.
But since you're dropping straight into REM sleep, 20-minute nap feels like you slept 2 hours, basically. So you just kind of take these little naps across the day to sort of keep you going. And eventually you'll fall into that rhythm where you kind of start getting tired, like maybe like 10 minutes before you nap, and you'll just conk right out. And then you'll wake up like almost like you took like a full night's sleep almost. And then the cycle continues. I was doing it. The reason why I stopped it is so I was basically only sleeping 4 hours a day is what it amounted to. And I was getting a lot done, but at a certain point, I'm trying to think how to describe it. I almost felt kind of depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because like I was awake too much.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. Like I was awake so much and not really like sleeping a lot that I don't know, like it felt really weird. It felt very uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yeah, you're not supposed to be awake in between, like from like let's say like midnight to 6 in the morning. Like that's a weird period to be awake in.
Yeah, it was. Now there's in the book there's like a really fucking crazy like extreme end of it that they describe. It's called the Uberman. So the Uberman, you don't have a 2 or 3 hour block of sleep period at all. You just take 6 20-minute naps. Period.
Yeah,
you sleep 2 hours. That's it.
Uh-huh.
And the example they gave in the book of somebody who did do that for a year was, I think, the lead engineer of WordPress.
Uh-huh.
He did it for a year, and he said he had to stop because he got married, and that doesn't work when you when you're married.
Yeah, unless
and
you're married to someone who's
sleep.
also doing it.
That would be weird.
What if you have like they're doing the Uberman sleep, but like they line up their sleep so it's in like the middle of each other's like waking cycle?
Oh god, dude, you like never see each other half fucking time. So the reason why, I think like the less intense ones, like the Everyman and stuff like that, I think you can keep those up for like really long periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
Those like really crazy ones, like Uberman, you're not supposed to keep those up for super long because after time, it actually has like a very detrimental effect on your health.
Mm-hmm.
Because at a certain point, your body's like, okay, you homie, you gotta stop.
Yeah.
I'm like your health is like your immune system starts to tank and everything.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, well, sleep's something that I wasn't really that interested in until I think it was like 2 or 3 years ago. There was everyone's seen this podcast already. Joe Rogan did a episode with what's his name? Matthew Walker. Episode 1109. Really, really good episode. And that sort of opened up my eyes about how important sleep actually is.
Mm.
And how important it actually is to get like a good night's sleep and what you can actually do to improve your sleep. Like that's the reason I started reading before I go to bed. And I've noticed that when I don't do that, yeah, it actually is a lot worse than how it was going before. But that seems like a really interesting approach to doing sleep, but also potentially really dangerous. Not just the Uberman. Obviously, that one, 2 hours of sleep every night or every day, I guess, is probably not sustainable. Unless you're it's crazy.
The thing that makes it hard to maintain isn't even just the whole thing of that weird schedule. the more extreme those get, the higher risk, higher reward they are. Because obviously you're just literally staying awake for like 6 hours more a day in the case of the Uberman. But if you miss one nap, it feels like you haven't slept for like 2 days. Like it's that, like it's boom, like it hits you. It literally takes like 2 or 3 days of staying on the schedule to sort of readjust back to it. It's very volatile.
Yeah.
And it makes it hard to do a lot of things because you can't, I mean, unless they understand and they'll like let you do it, you can't like go on trips and stuff, or you can't go hang out because you literally have to nap for 20 minutes every 4 hours.
Yeah.
Like clockwork. Otherwise you're going to crash.
Yeah, that reminds me a lot of, I was on keto for a year. It reminds me a lot of that, where if you stay on keto, you will just shed weight and you will feel great all of the time. But the second you eat a donut, you're going to die for the next like 3 days. Because
my wife tried to stay on keto for a while.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, keto is where you basically try to keep your carb intake basically as low as possible. I think most people say below I think it's 15, 20 grams a day. It depends on how, like, what your weight is. But I think 15 is the general goal. And if you eat, like, a slice of bread, it will put you above that. So if you have something, like, that's actually got a decent amount of sugar in it, like a donut or anything like that, you're gone for the next couple of days. And the way it works is basically your body puts itself into a situation where rather than burning carbohydrates to sustain its energy, it's going to be burning fat and turning them into ketones. And when you, like, that takes a while to get into that process. And when you break the process, your body just doesn't know what to do.
It just hates you.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm going to pull up my giant fucking diagram that I was going to talk about.
Oh, your self-hosted restream thingy.
Yep.
That is really cool.
Let me open it. Google Drive. Looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, you have the link, don't you?
I think I do. Yeah, you sent it to me.
I did. I was about to resend it to you, and I was like, wait a minute.
Where's the thingy? Thingy, where are you? That's okay. Yeah, it was. Yeah, I do have it. Is it gonna show up? Yep, cool. Okay, right now we see me, the streamer. Okay, let's zoom out a bit. There we go. Okay. Can I hide these?
Zoomed out all the way.
Can I hide these windows? Yes, I can. Cool. Nope, can't hide that one. I can make it. There we go. Cool. Now I can see it.
So explain it, because it's not like it doesn't really fall into the category of like a data flow diagram or something. I just kind of started brainstorming while I was on stream.
Yeah.
So the circles are the actual services I want to interact with. Twitch, YouTube, Facebook.
Yeah.
The diamonds are mechanisms or entry points from which you have to use to interact with that service. So we have, for Twitch, we have our IRC service, which is the real-time chat messages. The API for getting and updating your personal data, and then the ingest server to push our TMP stream up to. Same thing, but all of them have ingest servers.
Yeah.
And then in the case of YouTube, you have to use the YouTube data API streaming. And then Facebook has a separate live video API, I think is what I read for that. The ovals, those are kind of an abstract thing. What they represent is a responsibility or a feature that will exist within the system. Whether that's a routine that's being like orchestrated within like a monolith or a separate service is kind of an implementation detail I haven't really gotten to yet. But that's just describing like these are the individual like areas of responsibility within the system, such as the one that's literally the whole purpose to like watch my Twitch chat and push it upstream into like a pub sub so I can aggregate it. Kind of like how Restream has a chat bot. Yeah. And then obviously all those services need some way for you to control your account, update your stream title, descriptions, blah, 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 all that stuff. And as of right now, the whole purpose of all of those essentially is to it's two responsibilities. One is to do the multi-streaming itself, which is actually extremely easy to set up. And then the actual chat aggregation is the more complicated part. But it's literally just, start watching everything's chat, put it in, I don't know, fucking Res or something. Have another service subscribe to all those topics, and then push them up to like something connected via a WebSocket, like a chat embed, and then put chat embed in OBS and clap. There you go, you're multi-streaming.
Okay.
The multi-streaming part, reason why it's so easy is, so there's an open source module for Nginx that's for RTMP. And literally all you have to do to be able to take the incoming RTMP stream and push it upstream to something else is literally one line of config. Okay,
so basically, the way I'm seeing it here is you would take OBS, you would give it the key to your RTMP server that you're going to host on some sort of VPS somewhere. And then you would basically just push out that stream to the ingest servers for Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, and whatever else you want to basically use. Okay.
You got it.
So
the only part that makes that a little more complicated is, so the way, and you probably already understand this, the way Twitch handles live streaming and the way something like YouTube handles live streaming are different. So Twitch, your profile is technically always live.
Right.
You can your RTMP address and a stream key and shit never change.
Yeah.
YouTube and Facebook, you're not always live. They're what the terminology Restream uses. They're event driven. Every time you want to go live, you have to create a new event. Each new event has a new stream key, a new RTMP URL, and a new chat room address. So I would basically have to engineer it so that some way, when I created a new YouTube event or a new Facebook event, it would trigger something that causes the RTMP server that's using Nginx to update the config and reload Nginx.
Right. So I'm sure that YouTube has some way to query your scheduled events.
Yes.
So basically, you would make it on either Facebook or YouTube, and then mirror it over to the other service, I would assume.
Yes.
Okay. And then basically just pull your stream key from that through whatever method makes the most sense for those services. That makes sense. So what sort of VPS capabilities would you actually need to make something like this practical?
Well, VPS wise, so they're not pushing upstream. I actually already made like a Docker image that actually has Nginx, the RTMP module, and FFmpeg compiled into it. FFmpeg is not technically necessary. You can use FFmpeg if you want to actually be able to stream directly from your server itself. Like to actually have something like consume the stream from your server. Because what you can do with FFmpeg is take the incoming stream and adapt it to these other formats that allow like the adaptive bitrate rendering. Like, like on YouTube, if you're like bandwidth shit, it like scales down your resolution.
Yeah.
Like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I tried that and it kind of ran like shit, but I wasn't sure if that was because the way it was implemented or because it was running on literally the cheapest droplet DigitalOcean has.
So how much do you think you would be paying DigitalOcean or Linode, whoever you decide to go with, to actually have something where you could practically stream to 3 platforms at once? What do you reckon that would put you in the range of?
Well, the droplet can basically be running very low resources because actually most of the stuff is just more like, I guess, seeing how much network usage would be used.
Yeah,
that's part where most of the cost would come from. I forget how some of them have different rules about how network costs are calculated, and Some of them, I forget how it works exactly. I think it's like incoming traffic is counted, but outgoing traffic isn't. I forget how it works.
I feel like
on
at
what
some point
is.
there's going to be some little note in their terms of service where outgoing traffic would be important.
I mean, yeah, it probably is. It'd be one of those things where I'd probably just have to like get the multi-streaming part working, and then one time instead of using Restream, I just try it and then just watch the analytics and see what the data usage looks like.
Yeah. That makes sense.
So to formally answer your question, I have no fucking clue.
Not the cheapest one. That's the answer. But hopefully cheaper than what you'd be able to do with Restream, I would hope.
Possibly. The advantage I would have with this and what I want to have it in so that I could just tear it down, throw it back up on a whim.
Yeah. Well,
and which would help a lot on the cost because obviously all those servers, they only charge you while running.
Mm-hmm.
So if I only start it up when I'm going to use it and then I just tear it back down, that substantially reduces the cost.
Yeah. Well, another problem with Restream is it's fairly cheap to do 2 services, but if you want to do any more than that, then the price goes way, way up.
Especially also if you want to, what I was doing, which was multi-streaming to something besides a Facebook personal profile. For some reason, they charge you more if you want to do if you want to live stream to like a professional page or group. They make you get like the $19 a month service.
Okay, so let's see. I'm looking at it right now. There is the free version is useless. Don't ever use the free versions. No point. So 16 a month. Actually, no, sorry, I was wrong. 16 a month gives you 1 extra destination, so you can stream to YouTube and Twitch. But if you wanted to go to Facebook as well, then you have to go up to professional version, which is $41 a month.
I think it was on sale whenever I did it, because I definitely was.
Okay, well, it's 41 right now anyway.
There's no fucking way I'd pay $41 for that.
So yeah, as long as it's like, I don't know, let's say $30 a month. That would put you... I don't know why there's not a plan in between those two. That's really weird. Like, why is there not one for streaming to 2 platforms at a time? 2 extra platforms. And then the next one above that is 10 destinations. Like, what is this?
Yeah.
What is this billing? Yeah, I can see why you're doing this.
Well, see, the thing, I don't know if I said this or not, whenever I talked to you or not. The reason I ultimately decided to do this actually had no billing.
Mm-hmm.
It had to do with the fact of, so do you, I think you may remember this because this was kind of relevant whenever I was still doing like YouTube and stuff more frequently before, was, do you remember how a little bit of hype got generated when basically like a Chinese Twitch knockoff called Trovo kind of got hyped up?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to leverage that hype.
Mm-hmm.
But I had to wait for Restream to integrate the fucking platform to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, one, they took longer than I wanted to even integrate it baseline where you can multi-stream to it, which I don't know how their shit is set up, but if it was using my setup, it would take 10 fucking seconds. But I think even to this day now, it's not integrated to the point where like the chatbot relays stuff like it does on like YouTube and stuff. And to me, I think that kind of defeats the purpose of it to some extent. And that aggravated the fuck out of me. I really wanted to be able to kind of ride the hype a little bit, but I got fucked out of it. So I want to be able to say, oh, there's this platform I want to stream to. Okay, well, I already have all this existing architecture and this existing code base, and I probably already have some patterns in place by that point. All I do is, okay, drop an extra line in my Nginx config, kind of probably not take much time to create another chat aggregator for that platform. Ta-da, integration.
Right, here's what you do, okay? Right? You get all this set up, put it up as like, the entire thing is like a Docker image. I pay you $16 a month, and there we go. Now, other people start paying you every month, and now you're eliminating the need for Restream. You've just basically undercut them, and now you don't have to work a job anymore.
Well, here's what I want to do if this would start to mature to the point where I want to take it from something that I just use to something that normies could use. Is I actually would like to be able to take it and make something and mature to the point where somebody just said, "Hey, I want to start doing my own restreaming," and literally like run like one script or something, and boom, their own multi-streaming architecture setup.
Well, yeah, Restream is probably
sponsor me on GitHub or something.
There are other services besides Restream, like Streamlabs. You can do it through, but I feel like they're all way overpriced.
It's like, well, it's not even necessarily. To me, the price isn't really the issue. It's
$41 a month.
Speed, it's speed with I want to be able to adapt to where my content's going as I see fit.
Yeah.
And the fact of the matter is, I don't give a shit how agile, I don't give a shit how lean these places are. They will never be able to move as fast as just one bearded boy in his fucking room can move.
Well, yeah, you can, like, let's say that a library's like, hey, we're going to start live stream, which is something they're working on. I have heard whispers through the grapevine.
That'd be nice.
You could add that pretty simply. Like, they're going to wait for a while. People are going to ask them. If you want to do it, you can just go set it up yourself. Yeah,
pretty much. Like, I would probably, some way or some, I would be like, hey, tell me what the RTMP address is. Next day, boom. Hey, guess what? We are live on. I guess it'd be Odyssey, probably not library, but.
But yeah, that well, if they do start doing live stream, then you wanted to stream over there, then they are fairly helpful. Like Tom, you can get into contact with pretty easily, and I'm sure like even Jeremy would be like, yeah, okay, we'll help you out with this.
It would just be like, gentlemen, you just give me an RTMP address, and you tell me how to interact with whatever. I'm good to go. We live, gentlemen.
Yes, because that would be massive. Being able to stream to YouTube and then library at the same time. That right there, that's how you undercut Restream. But no, that actually would be really cool, and I would definitely be interested in using that, even if it's jank as hell, and I have to like hack it to get it working. Being able to host something like that myself would be cool, because I don't. Yeah, it's just cool. I hope that goes well for you.
Actually, I mean, if you want to mess with it, I think it's still private. I can actually invite you to the repo where I was starting to work on that stuff. It actually already has the Docker for the RTMP server.
Is it like, are you actually able to use it to stream anywhere yet, or is that still a work in progress?
You can stream to it. It does not have any settings in it to upstream somewhere else. But like I said,
okay, so
one line.
Okay.
All you read upstream RTMP : / YouTube, whatever, blah blah blah. Okay, you're upstreaming. That's all you got.
Yeah. Yeah, I might actually. If you want to do that, I'll definitely have a look.
Okay.
And then when you go public with it, I'll definitely talk about it for sure. Just let me know when you're doing that.
What else we got in?
Well, we're an hour 20 in. I think we're late enough in where we can bother people with VTubers now.
Oh no.
So yeah, how did that happen?
So I already know who Project Melody was. I mean, like anybody that like watches like The Quartering or something, dude, because she pissed off every single thought on OnlyFans a long time ago. It was one of those things that I think, some animation got memed really hard. I think the animation was based off a VTuber. You know, it's that like Banjo-Kazooie, like Ikum Bukum animation. Do you know what I'm talking about? It's based off the VTuber. The name is.
You cut out.
Dog Ears.
Yes. Colony.
Yeah, I think it was based off her, and because I watched it, YouTube was like, here's more VTuber shit.
Yep.
And
I don't know what it is about YouTube, but if you watch a VTuber clip, you will see nothing but VTuber clips.
That's because that probably makes them so much fucking money.
Yeah, that's probably it, to be honest. I don't think there's any conspiracy here. It's just like, they know how much fucking money they're making from this.
I forgot. Was it on one of the podcast episodes or something? Didn't you and someone else make the note that the top 10 or whatever income earners on there is VTubers, and then Tim Pool's right there. It's 3 or 4.
Yeah, I think at the time it was Coco might have been the biggest. No, wait. Was it Coco? Someone was making $20,000 a month through super chats.
Oh god, man.
And then going down the list, it was just all other VTubers and then Tim Pool. And then more VTubers. I'm just okay, sure, Tim Pool's here for some reason.
So, I mean, of course, YouTube pushes it because they're holy shit, everybody loves all these waifus here. Take it, shove it in their feeds all the time.
Let's see if we can find the link again, actually. Is Super Chat real money? What the fuck kind of question is that? Thank you. Yes, it's fucking real money.
What the fuck?
Is this a... can't find it. Top Super Chat earners. Where is this link? Is this gonna take me to it? Oh god. Okay, is there a link in this article that just... Oh my god, someone just give me a link to the page. Is this it? Okay. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so right now, top channel is Ducia with... Oh, sorry, that's total earning. Fuck. 1.7 million total earned on her channel.
Oh my god. Oh, what is it, a month?
No, that's total. Just overall time.
Total, okay.
Okay, for the... Okay, I said 20,000. I meant 200,000.
Get dropped to zero there, homie.
I'm looking at... It is Australian dollars, so just take 30,000 off of that. But still a house. Also, then YouTube's cut. It's still a lot. Yeah, so Coco is number 1. Second one is Ducia. Third one is not a VTuber. This is Good Mythical Morning. I don't know who that is.
Really? Good Mythical Morning? Huh.
Then fourth is Lammy. HoloLive 5th generation. Then Kuzuha, who is Nichisanji. Aqua, more HoloLive. Right Side Broadcasting Network, which is a right-wing news channel. Then Pekora, who is HoloLive. Fua Minato, who I don't recognize that name. Someone called Bin Troll. I don't know who that is. Damn. They play Among Us by the looks of it. Here we go. Mori Calliope, Takanashi Kiara, Matsuri Kanata, and then Tim Pool again.
Well, apparently at least some other places that broke it in. I remember when you watched, there was really the top 10.
Yeah, it definitely was. Yeah, this was pre HoloLive EN. Yeah, once you get past the couple of random ones like that, now it's Gura, Marin, Korone, Noel, Hachama, Flair, and yeah, it's just lots of VTubers. They make lots of money. And this is just YouTube. If you go look at, say, how much someone like Nyanas or Melody's making on Twitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you're saying about Melody. That's the last thing we talked about before we talked about how much stupid money they're making.
It was just kind of one of those things where I watched this, then I watched this, and then YouTube was like, "Here, have 20,000 VTubers shoved in your face." Now I think the only two I tend to sort of frequently watch videos from them is Yanners and Iron Mouse.
Okay,
I like those two.
Yeah,
those two are pretty fucking hilarious.
Yeah, they're great. I'll occasionally watch some Nyanas clips. When there's one that I've watched actually a couple of times now. When what's the company, the sword company that she loves?
I saw that video. I didn't watch it yet though.
Cold Steel. Cold Steel's the one I'm thinking of. Where you just have a fat dude in a suit. They'll just cut stupid things. One time there was a boot full of meat for some reason. I think there was like a tatami mat full of milk. I don't know why. It's like, sure, okay.
I think the video that I watched that was like, okay, of Neanners was it was kind of a recent one. She like played some game where it was like a cooking simulator thing. Oh my god, this the stupid fucking things that she was trying to make and all the mistakes that she was making. Oh my god.
It is good to see that that group actually is like starting up. Like there's actually like a company forming up. It's not just, hey, here's Hololive and Nijisanji in Japan. Now there's actually companies forming in the West as well. So they're part of what are they called? V Shoujo now. So that's Melody, Iron Mouse, Nyanas, I forget the rest of them. Those are the big names there.
Didn't I say that the person that started that, didn't he was like some big person at Twitch before or something like that?
Could be. I'm not too sure.
I forget where I heard that. I think whoever the guy started that, I heard either, I think they said they were one of like the people that like made Twitch, or they were like someone really high up in Twitch.
Oh geez, okay. But VTubers are only getting bigger.
Yeah, they are.
Maybe I should become a VTuber.
Well, I did say I looked into that process just because I was really fucking curious.
But even like male VTubers are growing a lot. That's the weird thing.
Are they? I haven't seen a single male VTuber.
They're nowhere near as big, but I think the biggest Western one is probably Woohoo Lad, but Woohoo Lad's a special exception, because he uses a female Fox Girl avatar, but he doesn't pretend to be a girl at all. He talks in like the deepest voice possible. It's like, all right then.
You know who would probably be the biggest one if he just actually made and just used it? Nux.
Yeah.
Nux.
Well, okay, Nux actually is probably the biggest, actually, yeah. But Nux also has like there's no reason why he couldn't afford a live 2D model.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's, he's had a big channel for years. But I guess he's happy doing what he's doing.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even know who he was. His watching VTuber stuff, and then I was like, "Oh, who's this guy?" I was like, I didn't know who that was. He started showing up in my recommends after I started watching VTuber stuff, and I was like, "This guy's fucking hilarious. I love this dude."
I love Nux. Nux is great. I don't watch a ton of the Western VTubers, but yeah, I do like Nyana's stuff when it does pop up in my feed. I've mainly been watching a lot of Hololive EN recently. So mainly...
Go ahead.
I was going to say, mainly I'm watching a lot of Ina's streams right now. She'll do drawing streams, and they're nice to have on in the background and just listen to her talk about nothing, really, and just draw. It's nice and relaxing.
I should probably do that one day when I'm working or something. Depends on when they stream, I guess.
Yeah, I usually go back and watch the VODs.
Oh, true.
But the good thing for me, with the Japanese VTubers, is that my time, I think, is an hour behind Japanese time. So as long as there's someone that's not like Matsuri, who likes to stream at 4 a.m, I can usually watch it live.
Oh, I was going to show you something.
Yes.
Remember that image I showed you that I was like, me and my wife, or I was trying to like talk my wife into like playing with the idea of actually making like a 2D VTuber thing.
So you can retire.
I showed you the image. I was gonna show you her Patreon. Holy fuck, she needs more attention. She does good stuff.
Yeah, cool. We can do that.
Take this. There may be booba, not naked booba, but there is booba.
I'll check.
The booba ones have to be like behind paywall because of how Patreon works anyway.
Yeah, well, okay, we'll just show the top of it, where there's just tentacles. This is fine. You can already see some of the art here anyway. Oh yeah.
Yeah, all the stuff that's like adult stuff has to be behind paywall anyway, because Patreon's like, oh no, boobies have to be paid.
Yeah, no boober allowed. Yeah, go support Bone Closet, I guess.
Also, she makes really nice Twitch emotes. If you're a streamer and you need emotes, go look at her shit. Go get her to do it.
That's not a bad idea, actually. I might do that. I'll just take off one of your Patreon payments. Just don't pay me for a couple of months. That's how it'll work. You can pay her for me. No, but yeah, that's actually really cool. I'll have to come have a look at this a bit more. I do actually like a lot of the art here.
If you want the skin bits, go subscribe to.
Yeah. Is it just the what tier do you have to be to see that? Is it just any tier?
It's the shit. I gotta go back on that now. It's what I think it's called lewd bone, or whatever the hell that tier's called.
Oh, it seems like most of them it's just it's the bone support to see the posts here.
The ones that are like not safe for work, or is the one called lewd bone, the $5 one.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I do want to get back into drawing. I've got an art book like sitting in my closet. I just haven't. I need to use it.
Do you draw? I didn't know you drew.
Yeah, a little bit, but not for a long time. More like it was never I was good at it. It's just like I enjoy drawing.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like most people when they're younger do.
I never did.
You didn't? No? Okay.
No, I don't.
Wait, why did people mention? Oh wait, no. I thought someone mentioned me on Matrix, and I remembered that the that's actually kind of weird. The Matrix Discord bridge, if someone @s you on Discord, actually does send you a notification about it on Matrix as well. So it actually links up the accounts pretty well like that, which is surprising.
Interesting. I've never actually used any Matrix thing yet.
It's not great. That's what I'll say. It's still very much. It only came out of beta this year, and it still very much feels like an early project. But I do think there's definitely like a grain of this is something that can actually be a legitimate competitor to Discord, or maybe a modern way to do chat for like projects, because no one wants to use IRC. I know there's some people who like it's IRC or die, but you're not bringing in new developers using IRC. It's just not happening.
No. I've never actually even been in IRC chat room before.
It is a better approach than doing Discord, though, because there is a lot of reasons why you shouldn't probably be using Discord if you are running an open source project.
Oh yeah. Who knows what data they're harvesting?
I just expect them to be stealing everything they can get their hands on.
Pretty much.
Well, here's a topic that about me. I actually started learning Japanese recently.
Did you?
Yes. Yeah, I've made my way through hiragana and katakana. It's actually not that difficult. This is the easy part. The hard part is actually, vocabulary and grammar and stuff. Learning the alphabet is fine. At least those alphabets. I'm probably gonna just stream doing some wanikani stuff, doing some learning kanji streams, which is just gonna be me being an absolute moron, having no idea what any of these symbols mean. But I think it'll be fun.
There was a period of time back before I went to college where I was trying to teach myself Japanese. I didn't really get very far with it. I think I probably should go back to that at some point, because I actually still have general.
You cut out right at the end.
I said I still have genuine interest in doing. I just need extra time to really sit down and do it.
Yeah, I don't spend a ton of time. I try to spend as much time as I can. Like usually, I don't know, maybe like 6 or 7 hours a week, which is probably more than I really need to be doing. But it's fun. Like learning. I don't know. Learning another language is something interesting that I've never really thought of doing before. And I don't know, I just wanted to give myself a different sort of challenge. Because I've done programming stuff before, and I've done some electronic stuff before, but I've never really done anything like trying to learn a second language. So it's just this new sort of challenge that, hey, it's something I was already interested in anyway, so let's just see how it goes.
We know you secretly wanted to learn it so you can become a VTuber.
Yeah, partially. No. I want to learn it to watch anime without subtitles. That's the better answer.
Yeah. Then you'd be the Chad weeb.
I had like something that I have noticed now is whenever I notice any hiragana or katakana, I just have to stop and read what it says. Like I was just filling some boxes at work last night, and I noticed like the name of the product. I guess it was a Japanese product. It wasn't obviously Japanese. I think it was like it's an Italian style product made in Japan for whatever reason. And I just noticed the name, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop and try to read this.
Could you read it?
Yeah, it's fine. It was to be the katakana. Nothing too difficult.
Did you take anything like Japanese related by college?
No. There was a Japanese class, and the entire class was full of weebs.
What?
Actually, I think it was full of weebs, and there was maybe one person who was Japanese who wanted a really easy high grade. Because it was like beginner's Japanese. So hey, if you already know fluent Japanese, there's your easy A there.
I had a Japanese class, but it wasn't a language. We had to have a cultural credit. So I took a Japanese culture class, and it had nothing to do with the language. It was kind of talking about like Japanese like culture and norms in their society and stuff, which I thought was pretty interesting. And we actually watched a couple of old Japanese movies too to explain like certain societal concepts in there. And it actually is the reason why when I was playing Ghost of Tsushima, there's 4 different sayings in Ghost of Tsushima for audio. There's English subtitle. I think it's called Samurai Cinema, which is basically just Japanese with English subtitles. And then there's a 4th one that I immediately actually knew who it was, called Akira Kurosawa mode. And Akira Kurosawa is basically this old famous Japanese filmmaker. And in that mode, it's the same thing, but also there's like this filter applied that makes the game look like an old granulated like film. Yeah,
that's interesting.
And I was like, I get the reference, yay!
Yeah, that's I don't think it's probably the best way to play the game, but it because I hear like okay, well, not I hear I've seen how the game looks, and it is a beautiful looking game. Like the art direction of that game is fantastic. Like obviously it may not be the highest fidelity game out there, but the art direction looks amazing.
Oh yeah, part of me, I wouldn't do it soon. Now, part of me wants to get one just so I can play it on there and see what it looks like.
I really hate Discord right now.
Fucking Discord. I want to run it on one of those newer consoles just because I want to see what it looks like at like constant 60 FPS. See how fucking gorgeous it looks.
Yeah, I've got a base model PS4, so I can't imagine.
I do too.
Yeah, I can't imagine it's going to be the most amazing experience.
I mean, if you watch me play, like I said, the PS is a base model. So it like the only time there's like loading is when you start it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it does a really good job of just loading and as you're going.
Okay, that's good. You know, I might just use my Linode sponsorship to fucking host a Jitsi server, like I was saying earlier, because this Discord is pissing me off today. It's been getting worse, and I don't know why it's been getting worse.
I don't know. I actually don't know why it's getting worse.
I don't know. Just another reason to not use Discord. Use Guilded.
I mean, technically speaking, the only reason it might, the only thing you could do to make it better, maybe, is I think they usually award, or they usually kind of allocate like higher, like look more priority and higher quality audio and video streams to like servers if you have like certain, like maybe it's, I don't know if you have to be like community server or if it's boosted or some shit.
Yeah.
So maybe you might benefit if the next time you try still doing it on Discord, that you just make like a private, like, hey, this is like the podcast interview chat room, and you just like yoink someone in there.
I don't know if you can do video chat like that in the server though.
Oh right, true, that's right. Maybe.
Oh wait, no, I think you can do video chat in a server. Yeah, I think they added that a while back. Maybe. I'm not sure.
It might at least be worth trying if you want to try. Yeah. Otherwise, just tell Discord to go eat a fucking dick and go try something else.
Yeah, I can just turn that Jitsi video into an ad. I don't actually have a contract with them where I have to actually do ad reads. It's basically just like an affiliate program.
Right, yeah.
You might have seen I think Linux for Everyone has a similar setup with them. Where basically you use the link, you get free I think $100 credit, and he doesn't have to read it. You just do it because otherwise people aren't going to know the link's actually there.
Right, yeah.
But I actually had two companies contact me. It was Linode and a random coffee company.
Coffee company?
Yeah. Yeah, it was just like this little coffee company who I would have done it. The problem was they only shipped to the US, so I couldn't try what they had.
Mate, have you heard my voice? I'm not in the...
If they could, the coffee could have been amazing, but if you're not going to ship to me, I can't try it. And if I can't try it, then I'm not gonna use it. I'm not gonna support it, I guess.
I think if I ever got one of those offers, whether it's Linode or who the hell ever, I think I would probably immediately take it just so I could leverage it. And actually, some of those things I was like jokingly running on like Raspberry Pis here, like MacLeod or whatever. I would actually be like, hey, guess what? Boom! I'm putting that shit on that node.
Well, yeah, I don't remember what his position was. I think community manager or something, or marketing something or other. He seems like a pretty chill dude, and if you're going to do a video on it, then he was like, yeah, we can arrange some credits for that. That's fine. We can do that.
I mean, I wouldn't do it now anyway.
Well, yeah, obviously. Well, obviously, you don't have the sponsorship, but if you did,
yeah.
If you're like, hey, I want to do this video where I'm gonna put whatever your MacLeod server onto Linode, then they would be happy to help you with that.
Okay. The thing I was going to ask you about just kind of video recording, editing stuff. So I've been trying to decide, with me having to do work all and now, trying to decide how I actually want to do video recording.
Right.
And as of right now, I'm almost kind of taking I guess kind of the same approach that Luke does, which is just I don't record a video unless I have a video to record.
Yeah.
But what I did think about doing, I'm just not sure about it yet, was I would try to pick a series of days, maybe like 2 or 3, and I already have like a big long list of things set up, and I would literally just take like 2 or 3 days and literally just record like 2 weeks worth of videos, and then just have them all go up at once, instead of that stupid awful shit I was trying to do before where I do it every day.
Yeah, DT does that. I don't know how he does it. It's weird. Because he uploads a lot.
Well, like, I think the stuff that you all talk about, I think it's kind of more... Because there's always stuff where y'all could yoink off of like Red or something. Like, you even said that before. But the thing where I'm trying to always like take something I haven't like taught and then make a video about it, like that's kind of harder. Like I have a very finite list of things I can kind of really talk about.
Yeah.
I also have to start getting into like more involved videos here at some point where I like make full things, because at some point I'm just going to run out of things where I'm just like, hey, here's the way you do this thing with the thing and go. That's basically all my videos are right now.
Well, to be fair, there's still a lot of baseline introduction you can definitely cover. Like I don't think you've covered like the RTMP stuff on your channel yet, have you?
Well, no, but that's not using that's using Nginx.
Ah, yes. Well, okay. I'm sure this.
Now I could certainly make a video about, hey, here's how you TMP search for yourself. That's the thing I could do.
Yeah, well, I don't think you necessarily have to only do the Go stuff.
Oh no, I don't. That's kind of my shtick right now.
Yeah. But you get the point I'm trying to say. Like there is a lot of baseline stuff you can do, but yeah, you will eventually have to start like building upon that. Like, okay, here's this thing I did, and here's this other thing I did. Here's a bigger thing that combines them.
Yeah. The other thing I'm going, if I like start pivoting to other like full subjects, I'm not going to pivot to another language, because I know I see people do this. Like, I know like there's like a bunch of different videos of like Brad does stuff on like, type or JavaScript, TypeScript, Rust, Go, blah blah blah. But I think they kind of clash, right? Because generally you use one language for one thing. I would prefer, if I went to another subject, it's something that you would perhaps need to use in tandem with Go to build something.
Right.
So like maybe my next like big long series of things would be about like, I don't know, doing SQL or something. And then something else would be, oh, here's Mongo. Oh, here's Redis. Oh, here's some other tool you probably need to use with Go. Yeah. So they all kind of go together.
That actually goes together with the point I was saying before about setting the RTMP server, because you could have, okay, here's setting up the RTMP server, and then here's building an interface to interact with it.
True.
And yeah, I actually think it's a really good approach to do it. Because the problem I think you'll get when you start covering other languages is you'll realize you're making the same video, but you're just doing it in a different syntax.
You would that I don't want to do that.
But you said there was a question in here somewhere.
Well, I think what was your opinion? Do you think it sounds smarter, depending on how much time I want to invest into it at all, that I just kind of do this whole like, well, I'm just going to do the videos become convenient to do, or does it sound like a good strategy to just do the whole thing where I like pick a block of days and go, okay, I'm just going to share like a month worth of videos?
The way that I think about it is, if you want to be consistent, I think the best way to do it is to bulk record.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do them like, okay, here I have a topic for a video, say like on a Wednesday or something, but let's say you're actually busy on that day. Well, then you can't go and record the video. But if you write down that idea, come back to it on your bulk recording day, then you can, just put all of those together. It also gives you a bit more time to think about the topic, because maybe you realize that, okay, there's not actually a whole video here. Or maybe you realize maybe there's too much for a single video. And by giving yourself a few extra days to think about it, it also does help in that respect as well. But the big one for me is consistency, because there are just like, sometimes I just want to do some other stuff. Like I don't want to record every day. I did that for a while, and what I realized is that I never had, like, as much as I love making videos, doing videos every day, it starts to drain on you, because even though it's the same amount of time you're spending, it feels like it's more time, because I don't know how to explain it. Rather than doing it all in one big session, we can get it all out of the way, having it spread out just makes it feel like it's taking longer than it would be. Plus, obviously, you have to make sure that you're not clashing with stuff on that day as well, and it's just, some days you just don't feel like recording. But if you give yourself, actually that's another point, if you give yourself, these are the days that I record, then you can put yourself in the mindset like, okay, when I get to, let's say you do it on Thursday, Friday, for example, when I hit Thursday, this is the time that I am in the position where I'm going to record. So you start getting yourself into the habit where when you get to that point, this is when I'm going to work.
Okay, that makes sense.
It's similar to how like time blocking works, where you allocate, here is where I'm going to work, and this is like what I'm going to do during that time.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that makes sense.
I know other people take different approaches to it, but that's what I've found has been the best for me.
Mm-hmm. That's something I was going to tell you about. I remember when you and DT talk, you asked him, do you record all in one go or do you break it up into clips?
Mm-hmm.
And so something I actually tried doing in the last 2 videos, and I coined a term for this.
I know.
Since I tried to do all the editing in the scripts, and I have the Python script, what I tried to do is I can only call the approach live editing is what I call the approach, where so I don't stop the recording, and I usually do things on the spur of the moment anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So if I want to do something like transition to like the screen where you see my code, or transition back to my face when I'm talking or something, what I do is I mute my mic, use OBS, change to the scene, unmute my mic, and then I start talking again. Because when the Python script does its thing, that looks like an edit. It looks like a jump cut.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually tried that with like, I think the last video, and I was like, that actually worked pretty fucking good.
Why do you not want to have the transitions in there? It's just...
I think it just... I think it... the thing with those kind of tutorial videos is I just...
Right.
Because it's a tutorial video. Nobody fucking watches a whole tutorial video. They jump to the part they want to fuck off. That's what everybody does.
Mm-hmm. Well, you can set your duration, your fade duration, or whatever duration inside of OBS to 0 milliseconds, and then that effectively eliminates transition as well.
Well, it does, yeah. The main reason I do that is, one, it guarantees that there's not like something weird stuck in there, whether it's like, I don't know, I didn't stop speaking or something. Mm-hmm. Or there have been times where I did do something a little extra when I was doing it. Like, I think when I was like making the emphasis of the point that I was about to use Pokemon to explain what type switches were and go, I switched to the full cam, but then intentionally went into the camera settings and zoomed the camera in, so it looked like it was a jump cut to a zoom.
Aha. Okay.
Yeah. That's what I meant by live editing. I can sit there and like do things to prepare the scene and then basically start talking again, and it looks like a jump cut.
Wait, with your... What are you using for your camera? Is it just...
The same camera you have.
Okay. Wait, so did you manually zoom it in?
I did.
You know you can
I
script
opened up
that,
the thing and went, huh?
You know you can script that.
I do, but that was at the spur of the moment.
Okay.
I hadn't prepared for that yet.
Right, okay. I was going to say, because that's weird for you not scripting it. Yeah,
actually, I need to... I know you can do a bunch of shit with... I need to actually dig into that and see what I can do with that, because I can figure out some weird shit to do with it.
Yeah, V4 Utils is great. I use it like this. That's why my... You know what? We're just going to do it. We're going to do it live. Okay, here we go.
Uh-oh.
We're gonna... There we go. This is how my camera looks if I don't fix everything. Like, look at this. This is garbage.
Oh, God.
But I run V4 Utils, so I've just got a script called fix cam. And basically, it fixes everything. It fixes my overexposure and all that. Yeah, there's a couple of... I think there's a couple of tools besides V4 Utils that you can mess around with stuff, but this is the main one.
Mm-hmm. I think I have some variant of that script that I yoinked from your repo, but I don't really use it that much because I think the OBS settings tend to override it anyway. Yeah,
OBS is weird like that because it doesn't save the settings, but it also messes with what you've done through V4 Utils. So I never actually open up the properties because if you touch properties, it resets everything.
Right, yeah.
Rather than like querying the webcam for its current settings, it's just like, no, I'm just going to reset them. Doesn't matter. So I wonder if we'll do it now. We're going to do it. I'll show you. That one's mine. Yep, cool. Actually, wait. Maybe it'll be fine because it's in Discord. Yeah, it will be because I'm not actually capturing the Yeah, it will be fine because I'm not capturing the webcam directly. I'm capturing the OBS. Capturing the Discord thingy of the webcam. Yeah.
Have you messed with there's a plugin for OBS that allows you to basically use the video being rendered in OBS as a webcam.
What do you mean? Wait, I know. I think what you're saying.
Yeah, I think it's called V4L Sync.
I haven't. No, I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, I messed with it one day.
That's kind of cool. What were you doing with it?
I was just I think when I was doing one of my jobs, I was using that because you're using OBS as a webcam, you can use all your scenes and shit. And I was just like, they were interested in like, oh, you do YouTube and streaming. What does that look like? And I was like, well, actually, I'm doing my webcam is using OBS. Do you want to see some of the scenes? And I was actually transitioning to the scenes and like explaining stuff to them.
OBS Studio output plugin for video for Linux 2 device. That's really cool.
It's in the Arch repositories, I think.
I will have to do a video on that. I recently did a video on, it's not up yet. It'll be up, I think, tomorrow, on DroidCam.
Oh, right, yeah.
You don't actually need I don't know why there's an OBS plugin for it. The OBS plugin's useless. Because when you use DroidCam, it creates a webcam device for the actual phone. So what the OBS plugin does is just skips that step and just lets you select the phone directly, which doesn't really have any purpose.
I'll save you what is potentially a headache. When you install that V4L Sync plugin, it does not create the device. You have to manually create the virtual device. And then when you start it, you have to tell it what the device says to send the feed to.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's not that bad.
No.
I can't think of when I would use that. Besides, unless I needed to show something to someone and I couldn't screen share for some reason.
Well, you probably wouldn't need to do it, but the reason I was using it mostly was because, again, hey, look at my fancy scenes, woo. And the other thing was because I hadn't actually gotten around to doing like stuff with like V4L2 yet. So most of my webcam editing is done in OBS. So that allows me to use the OBS filters and stuff and still use webcam. Yeah.
Well, yeah, if I'm just doing it with V4L anyway, then it's not really that big of a deal. I can still have those filters anyway. I like that. That's cool. And
the only use you might get out of it, maybe, would be as if well, no, you already have. No, never mind. I'm dumb because you're recording anyway. Never mind. That's dumb. I was gonna say maybe you could somehow use it for like, but you're already recording in OBS with the scenes. That doesn't make any sense.
It's one of these things where I think it's really, really cool, and I have no idea what I would do with it.
Right? Yeah. If you were still in like uni, it'd be fun to dank ass fucking webcam scenes. Woo.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Because when you do Zoom calls at uni, they generally don't give you screen share abilities because that obviously went badly when they did. But if you have your OBS sending to it anyway, they can't stop you unless they disable your webcam.
You just start playing videos through OBS.
Stop me. There was a episode of Lunduke's podcast where I think it was Chris Titus. Oh, no, it wasn't Chris Titus. It was obviously Lunduke, Matt, Linux Gamer, and Wendell. And Wendell had no interest in being there. I don't know why he was actually on the episode. The entire time he was playing Doom. They were just chatting. I don't think he had his microphone on. He was just sitting there playing Doom the entire time. So you could do that in a uni class. The lecturer's just talking. You're just streaming Doom over. And actually, that would look really good, because the problem that screen sharing has is, for whatever reason, it compresses it to hell, but it doesn't do that with webcams.
Yeah, true.
So I think that actually would be a much better way to do it. Actually, that is a use right there. If I need to screen share, and I occasionally do need to do that when I'm talking to someone on Discord, that would be a way better way to do it.
Good, yeah.
I like that. Thanks for that. That's definitely a video idea happening right there.
I've only watched one or two podcasts that Lunduke did like early on, and I immediately realized that this wasn't really something of interest to me, because they're literally just like talking about like this super old like tech shit that I don't really fucking care about.
Hey, do you want to talk about Windows 95? No, I don't. What about yeah?
Was it like Lunduke like talking about these like all these like super old like 30, 40-year-old like old Apple device? Cool. I don't fucking care.
Yeah, like not to be mean to Lunduke, but I don't like his videos for the most part. There's a couple here and there where I'm like, that's interesting, but he's made he also likes to say things which are complete. He said a couple things which are complete bullshit, like the Mac OS is not BSD, which is objectively wrong, because it is. You can't argue that point. It is a fork of BSD.
Is it a fork of BSD?
Yeah. The Darwin kernel, which is what it uses, is a BSD fork. And he tried to make the argument that it's not, which is not true at all. Like, you can literally trace back to where it forked from BSD. And it still has BSD code in it.
I guess that was just one of those instances where he thought he knew more than he did, I guess.
Yeah. Like, some people will say that macOS is a fork of Linux, and that's not obviously correct. I think because a lot of people don't understand the distinction between Linux and Unix, and that's where that confusion comes from. But it definitely is BSD. That's not you can't argue that. It's not a good BSD, but it is BSD.
Oh, that was what I was gonna rant about. Okay, so I can't go into like a lot of detail about it because it's technically work related.
Right.
The first bug I had to fix at that place only existed because all of them use fucking MacBooks. And the problem is, and I didn't even know this, apparently Macs don't care about case sensitivity on file paths.
No, they don't.
Yeah, I didn't know that. So I pulled this code down, right? So, I'm like following the steps to get a local version. I go to build it, and to get a bunch of errors saying it can't resolve file paths. And I was like, weird. Okay. It was like Webpack though, so I thought maybe it was just weird Webpack errors. But then I go back and look at the errors, and it's like, can't resolve this path. Weird. Okay. I go look at it. I'm like, no, this file's here. This is weird. What the fuck? And then I happen to finally notice, wait a minute, the casing's wrong. What? I was so confused. And I messaged one of the senior devs, and he was like, oh yeah, this was a problem someone else had like back in August or something. I guess someone tried to do some like Linux. And they were like, yeah, Mac doesn't care about file sensitivity. And I was like, you fucking what? Excuse me? He was like, yeah, won't you, I guess you're going to have to fix that. The first thing he said was, I don't know how hard that is to fix. And I was like, well, it's just fixing the casing on the file paths, homie. What the fuck? And he was like, I don't know if it's going to be too hard. I don't know if we could support Linux as a development environment. And I said, the fuck you can.
Like, I can script to fix it. Like, what you could do is you could leave it broken on their side, change the file names when you pull it down, and then change them back when you push it up.
I thought about that. Well, the thing I thought about doing was if technically if I never have to touch those files to actually fix something, I don't ever have to. So I technically could change them locally and just never actually push them up to the repo.
Yeah.
But
yes.
apparently somebody wanted them fixed anyway for build automation. And I was like, hello, I am your angel. I have blessed you. Here's a gift.
I'm guessing they don't support Windows as a development environment then.
That's what I thought, but I guess none of them do dev work on like all the devs use Macs.
Okay, so they the problem does exist there, but no one's been through that problem.
Yeah, and it wasn't that hard to fix. Like it was paths that were borked, but it was the fact that was a problem in the first place.
That's so dumb.
I was like, what the fuck?
What? Surely, like, how do you not realize that case sensitivity? Firstly, why does macOS not care about case sensitivity? But secondly, how do you not realize that that's a problem?
I don't know, dude. Like, I must be like, I have to have been the first dev or pseudo dev technically that asked for something that wasn't a MacBook. Because when they hired me, they said, "Okay, what do you want? Do you want Windows or do you want a MacBook?" And I was like, "Well, give me the one that has Windows because I'm going to installation and put Linux on." Okay, and then I did, and apparently, like, no one's ever done that. I'm literally the only fucking dev running a Linux environment, from what I can tell.
Yeah, there's a lot of people who just adore MacBooks in the programming industry.
I don't understand.
I don't know. Brian seems to like his MacBook, so Jenks, not Lunduke. Lunduke cares about his 30-year-old Apple devices. I don't get it. I know a couple of people who use MacBooks, and they're always like, here's this... Because my uni, it supports Windows as a primary operating system, and then it sort of supports macOS, and occasionally you'll get problems, like, if there was a course where we had to do some .NET development, for example, I just, like, fuck it, I'm just going to do it on Windows, because I don't want to go through this hassle. And the macOS guys were trying to do stuff with Mono, and it's just like... Why do we even support macOS?
I mean, I guess it depends on how long ago that was, because I know
it was .NET, not .NET Core.
Okay, never mind. That answered my question.
Yeah, Core is great. You can hate Microsoft technologies, but Core it's great because it means you don't have to be on Windows to do it.
Yep.
It does have some issues, like it has the Microsofty nonsense syntax for doing web development. I think it uses Razor pages or something. Which are gross. You don't want to know what a Razor page is. I'm going to show people. .NET Razor. It's like a weird markup syntax. Here we go. Am I in the right chat? Yes, I am. Cool. That should be a link. So,
Razor intro.
Yes. It likes to have lots of @ symbols to do things.
Razor.
It's a weird syntax.
Ugh.
Like, you can get used to it. It's fine, I guess, but it's just weird.
I mean, yeah, that's the same thing you could say for using fucking $signs for stuff in PHP. You can get used to it.
Oh, no, PHP is...
fingers are going to hate you.
Yeah, PHP is... I've done a bit of PHP, and I didn't like it.
But I don't hate PHP, like, for no reason, like people randomly do now for some reason.
It's unsecure. That's my favorite one.
Yes. Oh my god. Is it ever? And it also has the same problems that I've grown to despise that any dynamic language has. Oh, I didn't. So there was a problem I helped somebody in my Discord server fix. And this problem, the thing that caused it, was like the embodiment of fucking hate using dynamic languages now. So they had a friend that had like this like web app that was like a paint tool, and one of the paint tools was the fill.
Right.
And it was like a grid based little board. You just fill in the pixels. Randomly, the fill tool would just stop doing a fill for certain times, and it was like, I even looked at their code and I was like, I don't see anything wrong with this. This looks right. So finally, I was like, well, let me step through with the debugger. And the way the fill tool works is it just recursively calls the same function, either increasing or decrementing the x. I noticed finally that for some reason that I cannot explain, sometimes whenever it was passing in the next x value, it was suddenly converting it to a string for no fucking reason. So instead of doing like 1 plus 1 is 2, it was doing 1 plus the string 1. Oops, there's a string. I gotta convert this to a string now, and it was concatenating them together, and it was trying to do 1 1. That's why it was failing. And I was like, what? What? Why is it a string? There is no string conversion here. What?
I don't like. There's a reason why TypeScript is popular.
Yes.
Typing is nice. I tolerate the way that Python does its typing. I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
I only tolerate it because the standard libraries in Python are an absolute godsend.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they are.
Because, for example, with the way I do my video chapters, I just have a Kden live script that parses the stupid nonsense. It has an XML library built into it. It has a JSON library built into it. I think it's like 10 lines. It does everything I need it to do. I could write it less, but I'm not a Python developer. I don't care. I didn't have to install some third-party libraries. It's just base libraries, and it's great. And I can accept the typing. That just because of that, how nice that is.
My cat's in there going, pay attention to me.
But also, it does nice things with the XML. It's not like you have to do some like weird function calls to do stuff. When you convert, like, the other thing is a function called like get root, and what it does is basically just converts the XML document into like a tree or not a tree, a dictionary, and you can just like iterate over it, and it just works fine.
Yeah.
Oh,
everybody had what?
That thing is still massive.
You want to talk? She's not even that big compared to the other one. The other one's bigger.
My cat is a little thing like this.
You want to purr? You gonna give ASMR?
Nah, just
no.
Scratch your head.
Not loud enough. You gotta purr louder. Fine.
When I get my own place, I'll probably get another cat.
Another cat?
Oh yeah, my cat is like at my parents' house now.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. Also, she's like 16 years old.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, yeah. I'm surprised she's still going, to be honest.
The oldest cat I ever had lived to 17.
Wow.
Yeah, I think actually it passed away one of the semesters while I was at college. My mom was like, I didn't want to tell you. I was like, Mom, the cat's 17 years old. I knew why I was away one of the times you call me and be like, he's gone. I'd be like, okay, I was expecting that.
Yeah. Honestly, it's impressive to have a cat that lasts that long.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see. What else do we have on the list? Actually, one thing that's on here is a really long one that you wrote. How things I started on for myself have helped a lot at my new job.
Oh, yeah. So that a lot of that's basically got to do with the habit of like just taking something that you find that you were doing repeatedly and just writing a little small script to automate it. A good example of this is, so again, without having to go into details, one of the primary responsibilities of my job is to handle these little tasks that the engineering team were having to like shift gears mentally to do. They usually involve touching the database. And when I was being shown what to do, I was asking questions, when they usually have to frequently pull the same kind of data to do some other part. And I was like, wait, so you do this way every time? And it was usually like opening it up like the Mongo connection and what's that thing called, Robo 3T, like a little Mongo like GUI interface thing. And I was like, okay, we're not fucking doing that literally every time. And once I got access to be able to get to the actual database, I wanted to be able to pass a script into the Mongo shell don't have to pull the data.
Mm-hmm.
But I ran into an issue, which was you can pass a script into the Mongo shell, but what if the script itself wants arguments?
Mm-hmm.
You can't pass arguments in for the script that goes into the Mongo shell.
Right.
But there's a flag, there's an eval flag you can use that will just evaluate this random string of JavaScript and make it available during the connection.
Right.
So what I did was I wrote a script, this little simple shell script that's basically a wrapper around that. That takes the arguments and then actually uses the eval flag to make them available in the JavaScript file.
Mm-hmm.
So now I have this one little file that if I just pass it in an argument, boom, I get data. I don't have to sit there pissed with a fucking GUI interface to pull it open.
Well, yeah, if you're doing the same thing every time, yeah, that's dumb. But yeah, no, that's a way better approach to do it. Automate everything. So that's sort of what you're getting at there. Just going through this process of automating video creation has sort of got you into this mindset where if you can automate it, you should automate it.
Automate it, and also the whole thing of just having a bunch of small little things that do one thing to complete a bigger process. Yes, the whole Unix philosophy actually has been very helpful so far.
That makes sense. Yeah, I can see that. My thing is I'm too lazy to not be lazy with the automation.
No, that's too lazy. No, you gone.
Because I've said it a couple of times. The way I'm producing my videos, there is stuff I can automate. I just haven't.
Mm-hmm.
I really should though. Really should.
Did you ever go look in my scripts repo and see if you could just like yoink one?
Oh, for the video creation.
Yeah, or the editing.
Yeah. Oh, video editing. Yeah. I think I might have had a brief look. I could do that actually. That might be easier than modifying the actual. Yeah, now that I think about it, modifying the project file is too much effort. I should just concatenate the outro video onto the end of it with FFmpeg. That might be easier.
That's part of what my finalized video script does.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember if I ever told you exactly what it does, but my finalized video script does 3 things. It overlays that little subscription ding animation.
Mm-hmm.
It adds a fade in and a fade out at the start and end of the actual recording.
Yeah.
And then after that, it concatenates the outro at the end of that. So it looks like it fades out into the outro.
Okay.
That's what the finalized video script does.
That actually would be useful for me, yeah. That's stuff I do manually anyway, and Kdenlive doesn't actually have a way to do scripting, which is annoying.
Does it? Wait, does it not?
No, there's no scripting interface for Kdenlive.
Which is the part that would probably be confusing when you looked at it is the fucking complex filter syntax for FFmpeg, because you'd probably be like, "Whoa, what the fuck does any of this shit mean?" Which, by the way, if you want to learn that, I made a video about how.
Too bad you cut out when you were saying that.
Fucking. I made a video about doing complex filters in FFmpeg. Go fucking watch
it. Yeah, do that. I think I watched a bit of that video. But that script itself, I think just as it is would be useful for me.
I linked when I first made that script. I linked a streamer I'm in Discord server. Mm-hmm. I linked it in their programming, and they're like, "What the fuck am I staring at?"
Yeah, FFmpeg is a bit of a beast if you don't know what you're doing with it. It's like,
conceptually, it's actually very easy to understand.
Yeah,
but when you want to do complex things, it's when it gets you get down in the weeds.
Well, yeah, regex also is very conceptually easy. And then have you seen a regex to just like validate a date?
Don't say regex to me. I hate regex.
Actually, my favorite one is for emails because technically, like, no websites let you do this now, but technically, a valid email can have as many @signs as you want.
Just have to try that one time.
But the problem is you won't be able to ever use that email to actually sign up for anything because most services limit you to one @sign. But in the spec, there's no limitation on that.
That's funny.
So you could have something like Donald at Feury at something at
yourmom.com.
Yeah, pretty much. There's nothing stopping you doing it, and it's a problem with the email spec that has sort of been eliminated if you want to use it to sign up for anything, but it's technically allowed. Same with I think special characters are also allowed as well. This is why doing a regex for a email is basically impossible. And why
regex is one of those things that I'll start to do it, and I think I understand exactly, and then I go to use it, and it's like, this doesn't fucking work at all like I thought it did. Shit.
I use them fairly frequently, mainly for filtering out RSS feeds. But anything complex, this is just... Because filtering out an RSS feed, it's like, does it have this sequence of characters? If yes, keep it. If no, get rid of it. Like, for one example I have is for r/Unix porn. Basically, everything on that subreddit is useless unless it's tagged with OC. Because most of it's like, hey, look at my desktop, look at my desktop, look at my desktop. They all look the fucking same. But OC, it's going to be like, hey, look at my pretty program I made.
Oh, we should talk about the idea I gave you in the voice chat yesterday about using a bunch of the Unix porn images and making like a collage and making like a Unix porn OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that. Yeah, that's an idea. Oh, Lord.
Wait, before someone else steals the idea.
It's fine. This won't go up until Christmas, basically.
Just combine all the images with like OpenGL and just overlay some adult film like background music.
Some 80s porn music will work. To be honest, I feel like someone would pay for it. That's the dumbest part. Because what would happen is it would show up on something like Unix porn. And then maybe this is a really good idea.
This man's a genius.
If I don't do this, someone is going to do it at some point. Because I know there actually are some people who are just using OnlyFans to do some not porn at this point. Even though that's originally that was the purpose of the website. It was supposed to be just like a regular supporter website like Patreon, and then it got the rap that it has now. Like there's one guy in Australia called Alex Williamson. He does he does sports tipping. Mainly like horse racing and football. But if you want to get some want to know some advice about betting on sports, go follow Alex Williamson's OnlyFans, I guess. And he'd upload like an ad for it on his Twitter, and apparently he's got like a pretty decent accuracy rate, like 70 or 80%.
That's fucking hilarious. My rates are so good you'll nut.
Oh god, what has the internet become?
Mocha, honey, you cannot bite the knobs on the mixer. Please stop.
Don't bite.
Ow, you fucking asshole.
Don't bite my knobs. You walked right into that one.
Don't bite it. That comes later.
Let's see. Actually,
did I ever ask you what kind of music you listen to?
Don't think so. I listen to a wide variety of music. So I grew up listening to a lot of like AC/DC and a lot of like 70s and 80s rock, just because that's what my parents listened to. I listen to a lot of like J-pop and J-rock because, you know, I'm a massive fucking weeb.
Makes sense.
I actually recently got into Japanese hip-hop, which is...
Japanese hip-hop?
Yeah. Japanese hip hop, which is a weird one to get into, but you know, it's fun. There's actually here's a band I recommend. There's a Queensland band called The Chats, and The Chats is basically a fucking joke band. So they're inspired by like early AC/DC, but their lyrics are just the dumbest things ever. So they've got one called Pub Feed, which is basically about how they want to go to the pub and buy a schnitzel and a rump steak. But it sounds like a 70s rock track. I think their biggest song is called Smoko. So Smoko is basically an Australian slang for like a lunch break. And the entire song is literally, like, I think the chorus goes, don't talk to me, I'm on Smoko, and it's just screaming that into the mic. But yeah, there's a certain thing about Australian music where it being terrible is sort of part of the appeal. Like, there's a lot of really shitty Australian artists, but they're intentionally bad. Like, they're really talented, but they'll just make the most garbage music they can imagine. And I love that. Like, I'm not really very fussy about the sort of music I listen to. I think the only thing I'm not a big fan of is probably most country music, but there are some exceptions. Like, I don't know, maybe someone's going to bully me for this, but I do like some of Miley Cyrus's new stuff.
I don't even know. I know who that is, but I've like zero country in a long time.
I guess part of the reason I like a little bit of country is because my mum's into country, and I've obviously heard a bit of it. And when you're growing up and that's the sort of music you're listening to, even if you don't like it a ton, there's still some sort of appeal to it. What about yourself?
So right now, I tend to mostly just listen to either some combination of maybe specifically like synthwave and retrowave. Either that, or on the rock side, it'd be more like power metal or orchestral metal.
Oh,
like
I forgot about that actually. Yeah, I'm also a big metal fan.
Yeah, like on the power metal side, it'd be like Sabaton, Power Quest. I think are the two like ones I listen to the most. I listen to some rap. There's like very specific rap artists I like, which is basically confined to Eminem, Tech-9, and so there's a particular style of rap that I have a special place in my heart for, and it has something as school, which is horrorcore rap. This would be like Insane Clown Posse, Cottonmouth Kings, this type of music.
Yeah.
And the reason why is there was a period in time in school where I got this like bullied all the fucking time, and there were a few people there that I wanted to hurt them. I really did. And I found that music because a friend of mine let me borrow an ICP CD, and I listened to it, and just like the sheer like outrageousness of like the songs and like how violent the topics were, I thought they were hilarious. And they gave me like this outlet.
Yeah.
That made me like not actually like flip and try to fucking murder somebody. So that's why I have like the special place in my heart for that type of music. But other than that, that's basically been the stuff I listened to for a long time. I've listened to any EDM for a long time. There was like a weird period of time where I listened to like screamo shit, like Cradle of Filth, I think is that band. That's what I listened to back in like, it was like right after I got out of high school. I listened to Cradle of Filth a lot. I don't know why, because my ears hate me.
Yeah, my sister got really into death metal for a while, and yeah, there's some that I enjoy, but I'm just like, the part where they're singing is better. Can they just do that the entire song?
Yeah. Oh, so this wouldn't necessarily be I listen to like music, like songs. Have you listened to very high level people doing beatboxing or loop station stuff?
No, I haven't, but I can imagine.
It sounds amazing. If you get bored one day, there's a it's called Swiss Beatbox.
Mm-hmm.
They're like the main channel thing that does like tournaments and stuff, like like the competitions. That go listen to just some of those people do their routines and loop station routines. Holy God, they don't need instruments. They literally just use literally whatever sounds they can make out of their mouth, or whatever effects and stuff on loop stations, and they make full EDM songs.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out for sure. Actually, on that note, I guess we can start wrapping up the podcast. It's been just hit 2.5 hours right now.
Okay.
Yeah, so what did you say the channel was called? I'll just bring it up on the screen.
Swiss Beatbox.
Swiss Beatbox. 3.8 million subs. Jeez. Do not play the song. Definitely don't do that. Yeah, here we go. I'll have to check this out. I've listened to a little bit of beatboxing, but nothing where it's like the person would be good enough to go into a competition for it.
Right, yeah.
But this does sound pretty cool. Yeah. I'll check that out. I guess
you will not be disappointed.
I guess because we mentioned him earlier, Nuxtaku. Go watch Nuxtaku. Can I show this on the screen without there being problems?
It depends on what thumbnail it is.
I'll scroll a bit. Here we go.
I love the ones where he's like, I show these regular people outrageous like hentai videos.
Yeah, here we go.
Yes.
So I scrolled back 2 months. Apparently, Nux did a music video. Bakugo actually dies Lamau. That's the title. I love that. What am I looking at here? I haven't gone back and looked at some of, like, occasionally Nux's videos will just show up on my trend or my suggested, but there's just some videos in here where I'm just like, what is happening? Yeah. Check out Nuxtaku, I guess, and check out Swiss Beatbox. As for you, where can people find you?
You can find me on the YouTubes, and I think Donald Feury.
The entire thing cut out as soon as you said YouTube. It's all stopped.
For fucking sake. My name, the name that you'll see on the fucking podcast, just look that up on YouTube. That's my YouTube channel.
Yes, do that.
Yes, please do that. If you want to learn about Go or video editing audio, go do the thing.
Yes. I'll leave links down below anyway.
I barely use it.
What was that last thing you said? You didn't cut out. I was talking.
I use. There's a Twitter too, but I barely use it.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. That will be linked down below anyway. Cool. As for me, if you would like to go watch. Actually, how do I even do the outro on this? I don't even remember. I did like 2 days ago. If you want to go support my work, yeah, there we go. That's how it starts. If you want to go support my work, then there'll be links down below to Patreon, LibrePay, all that sort of stuff. What words? Supporters. Thank you, Chris, Joachim, Donald, this guy on the screen right now. Corbinian, Andre, Nathan, David, Montazar, Will, Chigabento, Joseph, Mitchell, Peter D, Tony, Tushar, and all of my $2 patrons. If you want to go support the work, as I said, links down below. I might insert an ad for Linode at the start. I don't know. I don't know what I'll do. I don't have to do it for this channel, but I might. We'll see what happens. Anyway, if you want a server, the link down below to Linode, do that. $100 free credit. And you support me. Go
give him money.
Oh, right, you have the reverb. You didn't use that entire podcast. You were good.
I turned it on for a second.
Expect me when I buy the Yamaha MG10XU to do the exact same thing, and I will use it much more frequently. if you're listening to the audio version, there is a video version available on Library and YouTube and Odyssey and all those things. The video version, if you're watching the video version, the audio version is available anywhere you can find an audio podcast, Google Podcast, iTunes, or where you can find podcasts. Just search for Tech Over Tea. I will be the first result. I am beating the blog called Tech Over Tea, and I hope they always keep falling down the rankings. I think that's everything, basically. Main channel, Brody Robertson. I do Linux videos, and they are Linux videos. Yes. I don't have much to say about that. We're closing on... I think we might be at 12k by the time this comes out, but if we're not, I will be very close to 12k, and I want to hit 12k by the end of the year. So, do that. Yeah. Got any closing words?
Y'all come on back now, and I'll see you next time.
Discord would be good for you. I'd actually let you say that. Thank you guys for watching.